Hello, procrastinators, and welcome.
Who the hell are you? Who are you? Who are you? Sorry, I had to finish that.
Okay, well, I'm what? I used to be your flatmate.
Never heard of you.
I was on the Tubecast before. I've been here from day one.
You've been there. Where are you now? I don't know where you are.
Well, now I'm still in London. You moved off to Canada. This is now an international podcast.
Ooh, in two ways as well, because it's more than just us listening to it. I bet one person, at least in the internet, listens to this now. Hooray!
Cool. And what country is the internet in?
America, apparently.
Well, there we go. 3 countries. Amazing.
Three countries people are going to be listening this in. Hello from those 3 countries.
But yeah, no, I used to do this, and then, I went off and got depressed and didn't make anything, and I'm back.
He's back, motherfuckers! Whoop!
Yeah!
What was that?
I have no idea.
That's a seagull with a sore throat, like an eagle. You see like a majestic eagle. You were just like... That is a noise it makes when you fuck up a jump in Assassin's Creed.
It should do.
You miss the hay barrel, just death.
It was supposed to be sort of fanfare screams, but then I realised I've never done that in my life in a real situation, and I was all prepared for that sound.
Yeah, you jumped into it too much.
It was, yeah. It was.
It's like saying, "Hey, listen to my impression" when you don't have an impression planned.
Exactly, like
Here's
this
my impression of an Irishman. Oh, T-tar, yes. Actually, that was quite good. I am 1/9 Irish.
Absolutely. How many Irish people are going to complain now?
None of them. They don't live in America.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you see, there are no Irish people in America.
Irish American, that's not a thing.
We've learned Seamus from wrestling. He's not a thing. That's a fact. We just boom. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Yes, we're going to be podcasting. You may notice there's no visuals on your screen. That's because this is a listening thing. There may be a download link in the description, but I haven't worked that out yet. So if there is, download. If there's not, don't.
Yep.
that's as far as I've got.
It's about as planned as all of this is, which was... Yeah. The idea was, let's just record our phone calls to each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because people might want to listen to it.
Yeah. Not like the intimate stuff we say to each other, or when we call up sex chat lines, but there's the normal
yeah.
one. We don't group do that, I will say. There's not like I don't Skype up like, unless we were pulling a hilarious prank. There's a great video of a prank of someone calls up a sex line, like some Australian radio show or something. They call up a sex line and then call up like another one and make them talk to each other. It's the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing. These 2 girls pretending to be really shy. And it's just... Oh, it works so well. I'll find you have fun Googling to try and find that one without a stain on your browser history.
Are there any unstained browser histories anymore?
Yes, because I always use CCleaner. Because I even like when I'm just on Reddit, I'm like, no, I don't want anyone to see that was on Squad Circle today. No one goes on this computer.
But unless you use CCleaner on the FBI computers that are tracking everything.
You think the FBI want to track me? Even after I joined Al-Qaeda? No.
I know, but... it's the sort of things they do.
I've made that joke too many times in my life. People are going to start thinking it's true.
Well, it could be worse. It could have been ISIS.
I know, right? They're fun. They're fun. I like they go, oh, we're pro-slavery. And everyone's just standing around going, yeah, we get it. You're the bad guys. They sound like they've been written by Michael Bay. That's how much of a genuine villain they sound like. It feels like they're sort of like they're going to be like killed by puppets in some sort of Saturday morning cartoon. That's what I genuinely feel. It feels like they're some sort of really old childhood bad guy that behead more people than that.
I have to say, I did get a sort of burst of inspiration, or not inspiration, but hope in America when the Kickstarter for Let's Have Anti-ISIS Jewelry failed. You know when you're there going, yeah, I really don't think you wearing jewelry is going to persuade anyone not to join ISIS. Like, I feel like the reasons not to join ISIS is they're ISIS, and the reason everyone does is because otherwise ISIS would be after you. Like, that is the only reason people are joining.
It's one of those weird things like, oh, now I'm protesting ISIS. It's like that being community. Nobody is on the other side of this issue.
That's exactly it, yeah.
We're all in agreement with you. Yeah. So that's the introduction.
That's the introduction.
That's our...
This is going well.
Yeah, I will point out this isn't available for download on iTunes because when you actually submit something to iTunes, somebody actually has to listen through it, and there's no point in even trying to submit this because this will probably go to a dark place. I'm so sorry.
Also, when we start going, don't buy Apple products, that
Yeah.
will probably stop us from getting onto there.
I saw one of my favourite ever things on the internet in a YouTube comment section. Was there was someone did a video about Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, where he is came out as gay, and the top comment was someone whose picture was their Apple logo, the Apple logo, and their name was like Apple fan, and his comment was just I believe it was something along the lines of, does that make me gay now? And I could just imagine someone holding an iPhone not knowing, just not knowing, and they take their iPhone away and their hands turned into a rainbow, and they're like, no. That's how it spreads. It's like Ebola. True story. Wow, we're just ticking off all the darkest stories.
We are,
just
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, hear about that plane? Nobody has. Tick, tick, tick. Right, get started on the things. I can't remember the order of them.
I think we were starting off with games.
Game news! Oh, hang on. I
To be a comfortable, nice, calm introduction to people
the plan,
back into this thing, rather than going through every other mess up in the world.
It's going well. So hang on, I got to do the sound effect. I've actually made jingles for all of these.
Oh, okay then.
I'm going to get my keyboard out. It's just a mechanical one. It's not a plunky one.
Okay.
Ready? Dun dun. Games. There we go.
Fantastic.
Now we're in now we're in there. I think I just typed something into Twitter. Okay.
Okay, so games.
That went well.
What?
Are you trying to pretend that we didn't just drop out of Skype and having to use other software now?
I was trying to do that. Yep.
Oh.
Are you going to try and get me keep in the two monologues that we both have of each other's going, are you pranking me? Seriously, this isn't funny. Stop wasting everyone's time. That we both
the
recorded.
FBI got to me. The FBI got to me. The moral of this story is don't use Skype. But yes, video games.
Games.
What was the... Hang on. I got to do the... Dun, dun, games. I can't remember if that's what I did.
It was something like that. But
Yeah,
now you've done it a second time, I think I might have heard that before. Might be copyrighted.
Oh, shit. I'll take it back. Hang on. Mjnig.
Oh, fantastic.
Mjnig, I have no idea if that's going backwards. Probably
Yeah.
not.
Unfortunately, you needed to go schnick, because it was backwards.
I've undone it in the wrong order now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, in gaming news...
gaming news.
Really?
Nothing? No, Costume Quest 2 has the most amazing DLC, but only for Sony. Because you can get the Sackboy costume as an option costume. And seeing as I'd been bad and delayed on buying Costume Quest, I will now definitely be buying the Sony version.
As someone who wasn't bad and bought it the instant it came out, but hasn't played it yet, I am angry at the universe. I haven't been playing it. We're recording this on Halloween. Ooh. And I didn't play it.
Oh look, it's Friday the 13th. 31st.
31st. Are
Dyslexic.
you number dyslexic? That's not a number thing. It's numlexic. That sounds like you're numb.
No, dyslexia covers that as well.
Okay. Oh, it's a broad ranging thing.
It's a broad ranging thing, yeah.
Do you know the colours of the rainbow? You're like orange, green, blue, red. Ah! I ran out of colours.
For that song, I am rubbish. Yeah, because pink isn't in there, for example. Though, admittedly, neither is indigo.
Because that's not real.
Yeah, no. Newton made up a colour in the rainbow because he wanted to have 7. So he added one that shouldn't be in there.
It needs 7, damn it. Why? I'm Isaac fucking Newton. That's why.
Well, no, it's because it's a magic number, and he got big into sort of the belief of stupid things. Like, he
Yes.
spent over half his life trying to create the Philosopher's Stone so he could turn any base metal into gold. This is one of the scientists that gets hailed so often as a great person, but spent half his life. He spent more time doing that than he did working on calculus and gravity and... Well, he stole gravity, but...
The modern equivalent would be Stephen Hawking going on Celebrity Big Brother. That's
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Gaming news, right, so...
Gaming news, yes.
I'm going to try and keep us on track. We never stuck on track when we did the Tubecast copyright. We sold the name for £1 million, so we're not using it anymore.
Okay.
It's true. It's pretend.
Okay. Pretend we've got £1 million.
Yes. But no, I haven't played Costume Quest 2 yet, so I can't give any opinions on it until I play it.
I can't either, because I also haven't played it, as previously stated. It's
sorry,
not. Is it Double Fine though? Because
Yeah.
I thought someone else was making it, and Double Fine were just putting the name on it.
I thought they were making
producing
it with them.
it.
It was like a 2-team
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So it's half Double Fine.
Yeah, I
So all
was
the bits
always
that
much
sucked
more.
aren't Double Fine.
Okay, I was always
Apart
much
from
more of a fan of stacking than Costume Quest anyway. But
Yeah.
Costume Quest is good, so I probably will still play this. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
It's going to be a weird one for me, because Costume Quest got through because, as much as I hate the RPG battles, they bore me to tears, I loved the setting and stuff. And I wonder if it's going to hold up for me, Costume Quest 2.
I think I had the same thing, that the charm and spirit of the piece is, well,
Yeah.
it's Double Fine. Like, the rule of Double Fine games is gameplay sucks, but the world is worth sticking through it.
I don't know. Stacking was going...
Stacking was quite good, but it made
yes.
quite a few people
hack and
watching
slash. Hack and slash.
Hack and slash is
Boom.
possibly an exception, yep.
Nailed it. No, I do that.
Cool.
That's out now. Hack and slash is done.
It is. I now own
And
it.
Space-based to Flip 9.
Yes.
That's rubbish. They just
Yeah,
stopped that.
that didn't really interest me. That was the year we didn't get a proper Amnesia Fortnite. That was a year when I was there going, these are all boring. Give me a proper Double Fine idea.
We did. You just forgot about all of them.
The golf.
Bad Golf 2! Bad Golf 2!
Bad Golf 3.
I want Bad Golf because I remember a game that I cannot find existed anywhere. Cool. I think it was Link's Extreme. And it was essentially what Bad Golf wants to be. It was just a standard golf game, but you could like summon things to murderize your opponents in some way. And I can't remember if it was real or not.
Did you see him when when they live announced the the games that were going through, and as soon as Bad Golf wasn't on the list, he pulled off his t-shirt and had Bad Golf 3.
Written on his sheet underneath. Oh, bless you, Double Fine.
Ah.
How's Massive Chalice? I haven't played that either.
It's still in... I think it's just gone into beta testing.
Yeah, I got a thing sent to me. It's like, you can download this now. And I'm like, when it's finished.
Oh, I don't think I backed it for that much. I think I said, you know what? I just want to watch the videos. And then the videos were team streams rather than nice two-player production stuff that they did with...
It's getting some nice reviews. It's getting some really good reviews.
It's got a very weird style to it. It's almost over polygon... low poly.
Yeah.
But I think I have to play it before I can judge it too much on that.
So basically what we've done at the first bit of our podcast, apart from insulting everyone in the world, is we've gone, we've not actually know anything about any of these things.
This is true, yeah.
We're the best.
Well, isn't that what news is supposed to be? Hey, I heard someone say something rather than actually have experience. Real experience is reviews.
Yeah. There was that when the royal baby was being born, and they were like, anything to report, and they cut to the guy standing in front of the hospital. It was like, no, fuck all has happened here. Nothing is going to happen here. At some point, they'll come out, get a car, piss off, and that's my day.
I'd love it for him to have come out and gone, yeah, she shat on the table. Would you like some royal feces thrown at you? Sure.
I can think of some people that would. That's the problem, you see.
Yeah, but the people who deserve it would be the media covering the royal baby.
Yeah. You see,
for the record, is this actually a thing that happened? Because this is how I don't care.
There was the baby called Prince something.
There's a baby. Okay.
They have another one. There's another one coming.
Oh,
like
you know
they've
what?
gotta
I still
fart
don't
them
care.
out. But no, it was like it was Gary or something. I can't remember. I remember calling him. It was like Prince something, whatever they called him. What did I call? Because I ended up calling him Pringle because it's shortened to Pringle really nicely.
Is the next one
That's
going
all
to
I
be the baby formerly known as Prince?
Pringle. No, it's going to be Doritos, and they can have a fight.
Oh, that would be
Sponsored
fun.
by Dorito, a baby. That'd be great. How good would it be if a corporation bought out the royal baby and advertised via their name? And it's like, and here's our baby, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I kind of like the idea, but on the other hand,
I'm willing to sell my baby for.
I'm kind of there going, well, no, it's like I'm perfectly happy for a person to sell their baby, but the royal family shouldn't be allowed to do it. That's owned by the tax right, unless that money goes back to the tax payers.
This is our baby, NHS. Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Why the hell are we paying for a royal family if it isn't for our entertainment?
That's generally all it is. Yeah. It's just
Like they
mandatory.
do, yeah. Like if they had any real power, I'd be after a revolution to get rid of them. Like, and
they
that
have
brings
power.
us.
Have you seen how many ceremonial plates that bitch can shift? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
That's power, that is.
but not a power we care about.
I just called the Queen a bitch. This is never going out. This podcast is never going out.
But yes, on the talking about rich
Video games?
talking about
Remember that?
nobility.
Oh, okay.
I thought we should talk about the new Assassin's Creed game.
Oh, well done.
There we go, an actual segue out of ramblings.
Well, no, we went from nobility of massive chalice via nobility of the Queen to more nobility.
Okay, there we go.
Linked.
So,
perfectly linked.
there we are.
Well, we're not actually going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about how it's being covered at the moment.
We are.
Because the new Assassin's Creed Unity has a spoiler in its latest trailer. I'm not going to spoil what it is, because it's one of those bits that if you actually experience it in the game, it'll be a billion times better. But every motherfucking headline
Assassin's
spoils
Creed
it.
3 had such a great sort of unspoiled surprise in it.
Yeah.
When you started playing the game and going, who the hell is this?
This is a different guy. That was great. I really liked that because of this. I thought that was great.
Oh, I liked that too.
But they fucked this one up. I wonder why they did it, because this trailer really does give away what I think is a big spoiler. I mean, it could have turned out to be a mechanic sort of thing and not just a one-off. It could be DLC. We don't know what it is. But
it
it's
could
really
be one of those
interesting.
ones where they're doing a collection of things, and so
Yeah,
they
without
feel
giving too much
spoiling the
away.
first one isn't a big deal.
But it's like that if it happened in game, I would have gone, whoa, that's so cool. But it's like when... But the thing, I will point out that every motherfucker spoiled it apart from PC Gamer that just said that there was a spoiler in the trailer.
Yeah.
Go you, PC Gamer.
I really enjoyed that.
Polygon were the worst for it. They put a fucking picture of it as their header. It was just, there's the thing. So even if you were scrolling past, you get it spoiled.
I have to say, I also dislike the name of this game.
Unity.
Because it's called Unity, but then I've watched a few things where they're talking about the engine and they're going, and inside the Unity engine, but it's not the Unity engine, it's an engine they have created for Unity.
Maybe
and you
they're
know
just
when you're there
trying
going, Unity is actually bigger than Assassin's Creed. You either
Maybe.
need to say our engine or... But it's not built in the
Have
Unity
you checked?
engine.
Is it built in Unity? Have
I
you
did
checked?
check. It wasn't. It's an in-house engine. It's just stupidly complicated.
So I was thinking, right, that they've revealed this bit, because I was wondering why you would reveal something like this, because like I said, they were good at it in Assassin's Creed 3. They really kept their cards to their chest. So are they revealing this because it's a tease? Like, it's not really teasing anything, because it's now saying that there's this whole thing that could have been better if it was covered up and experienced. Do you reckon their pre-orders are really low?
Oh, that's possible.
That's what I've been thinking.
Because is Unity's only on proper... sorry, not proper. Next-gen consoles.
Current gen consoles, not PlayStation 5 and Xbox -1.
Oh, no.
That's the next gen.
Yeah, well, it is on PC, which is next-gen. But it's...
I agree.
But yes, only on the current gen, as opposed to the gen that everyone actually has.
Yes.
Because they're making a different Assassin's Creed game for that, aren't they?
Yeah, the good one. The one that actually have interesting...
Not the Assassin's Creed you want, but the Assassin's Creed you deserve.
Yeah, what's it called? Rogue or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, because fuck numbers.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's...
Unity or Rogue?
I believe Rogue is also part of the... It's in the same... At the same time zone and same characters as the 4 and 3.
It may be between them, yeah. Because there's characters in this that are big characters in 4.
I think so.
And so they'd either be with me on my fucking boat, or they'd be, because I'm currently replaying Assassin's Creed 4. I didn't give that my game of the year. I'm sucked I didn't do that. Like, one of my top 10. It should have been.
In fairness, we didn't do the 2013 awards.
Yeah, done.
So we should do that at some point.
That's like 7th place.
But one of the reasons we didn't do it was because I still haven't played Stanley Parable, and
why not?
I know I really should have. I own it. I owned it on day one.
I know. I made you fucking buy it on day one because I got to play it on day -5 or something.
And I've played the demo, and the demo was hilarious. But yeah, no, I needed to play that, and that was one of the reasons we never got round to it. We know this should be high on the list. So I needed to experience it. But yes, we should probably go back and do the 2013 awards at some point.
Yeah. Was there anything good come out? Any movies? I don't think there were any good movies.
In 2013? Yeah. I think there was, but not that I can remember.
Yeah,
probably retrospectively, Frozen might have won it.
Oh, I like that film, yeah.
And in TV... we had the year of really good tries but fails. Like everything they released in 2013, you know, when you were there going, on paper, that should be perfect. Like a Joss Whedon TV show set in the Marvel Universe. That should be a hit. It wasn't. Or let's bring Robin Williams back and give him the writers of Boston Legal. That should be a hit. It wasn't. Let's bring Michael J. Fox back. Pardon?
Is S.H.I.E.L.D. still going?
It is. It has actually got better.
Yeah, well, it fucking had to. There wasn't much room down for it to go.
Well, now it's they've removed.
Hang on a second. Wait. Before we go
might
any
need
further,
spoilers.
Wait. Dun TV. Because fuck it.
Okay.
Carry on. This is the TV section.
So now that we've sort of passed on into after the events of Captain America 2, S.H.I.E.L.D. is no longer the big powerhouse it was. So now it feels more significant and more their underground secret organisation with no resources rather than everything, which was kind of the thing that really made it fall to pieces. So it's been more fun for that. Yep. But, and it's got... particularly the first storylines were all really bad. They had a whole run of bad stories, like, how did this person come back from dead? Magic? Sort of stuff like aliens. That. Gods. Like, that was their mystery, and then sort of when it was revealed, it was just a machine that rebuilt his brain.
Okay.
Yeah. It was also a special serum as well, but, like, you know when you're there going, not sure I'm going with that.
Fortunately, because it's in the Marvel Universe, and because it came from the Avengers, where we tie in superpowers, gods, it doesn't fucking matter. Magic Space Juice did it. Fine, carry on.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, no, it was it was just 2013 was just a huge year where every time they announced something, it was like, that should work. You know, Michael J. Fox with a TV show, yes, that should have worked. Like, and yet so little of it did. The CW did the best. CW has done a whole load of sci-fi shows like The Tomorrow People and The Flash and The Arrow and various other things. Oh, The 100. They're doing a really good job. You know, if you want to see sci-fi, the Girly Channel is the place to go. Which is also fantastic for me because I already liked girly TV programs. And so girly sci-fi is brilliant for me. It's wonderful.
And I've
So-
not seen any of it.
Yeah, well, that was sort of 2013's TV more than this year, but I think we'll cover that at another point. Talking about the Marvel universe, though, going back to that, Marvel did a whole load of announcements of their plans for the future of the Marvel universe.
Hang on! Movies.
Cool, fantastic.
We're now in the movie section.
We're moving through
really
quickly.
I know, right?
Yeah, I feel I've missed bits out on the last bit, so we might have to go miscellaneous.
We'll go miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. Hang on. Dun, dun. Fuck it. Okay, alright, carry on.
So, the Marvel universe has now been mapped out until 2020.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I was about to say, that's some good hindsight, but it's not. It's in the future. Foresight. That would have been the joke.
That's some good
2020
foresight.
Vision and...
Oh, I
Fuck
see,
it, I
yeah.
I hate my brain when it does that.
Okay.
Really nailed it. Yeah, edit,
So-
edit.
Yeah, so, obviously we always knew what was coming next month. Oh, sorry, next year. Not next month, next year.
Avengers 2, which we just had a trailer for.
Yep, Age of
Two
Ultron.
trailers. Yeah.
I don't want to
Age of
get
James Spader.
I don't want to get too far into spoilers in case anyone here doesn't want them, but I will say that I was really... it looks like it's going to have the special effects that I need for me to ignore the fact that it probably won't live up to anything in universe. Avengers 1, I was not happy with the special effects. Like, I have seen enough special effects just from the new trailer to say, okay, I'm going to see that and it will be worth admission to the cinema. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And then Ant-Man, which is not by Edgar Wright, so who cares?
Yeah. Skip it. It just
Like-
really is just a case of... He put 7 years into that film and they were like, yeah, but are you going to tie into the Avengers? No. Well, fuck you then.
So that's coming out next
Did you see
year as well.
he tweeted a picture of like a sad man sitting there holding a cornetto as his reaction to him being off of it?
I did.
Oh, at least I still got you, Cornetto trilogy. He's actually writing a new one. There's a new 3-part... They want to write another 3 Cornetto trilogy movies.
I see.
There's no more flavours of Cornetto, though. So
I don't know what the... Yeah, I was going to think what other ice creams are there. Is it Rocky Road and cookies and cream?
The Viennetta trilogy.
I see. Or Ben and Jerry's trilogy?
That just sounds like it's sponsored.
It does. Yeah. The
I like that, we're
Knickerbocker
like,
Glory trilogy.
That's just one big thing. That's just the Avengers. Is
That's
the
just the Avengers, yeah.
What else I got? What else movies? What other movies?
So then we hit what is officially called Phase 3. So in 2016, we have Captain America: Civil War.
Okay.
I should mention they have not announced any movies we actually want. Because I wanted Iron Man 4 and Black Widow.
Yes.
Neither of those happened. At
yeah.
least not until 2020. So yeah.
Well, maybe they're going to kill off Iron Man in Avengers.
Well,
I mean, to be perfectly honest, with the size of the cast, the amount that these movies are costing, they're probably going to have to kill people off just for budget restraints.
well, there's a good chance that this will be the last Captain America movie because I think this is the end of the actor's contract. So I think that this might be the end of Captain America. But the Civil War in comic books, I don't know much about comic books, but I think it's Captain America versus Iron Man. So I think that's going to be a giant Captain America versus Iron Man film, which might be fun.
Is that the one that comes out the same day as Batman versus Superman?
Possibly. It's 2016, May the 6th.
Yeah. I remember that they announced that, and then I think actually Batman backed down or something. But Captain
no one
America
cares
versus
about
Iron
Batman
Man.
versus Superman. But yes,
Nobody cares
that
about
will be
DC. Let's be fair
Captain
about
America
this.
versus Iron Man.
Hang on. If you are listening to this going, I care about DC, you're wrong. Carry on.
Yep.
He's
Then-
saying his opinions as facts again. Get him, internet.
And then also that year we've got Doctor Strange, which is basically a man who has magic. But there are heavy rumours that they're going to try and get Benedict Cumberbatch in to play the character. And I think he will do the job pretty well. I think there are other people who could also do it well, but I think
could
he's
do it.
going to do it very well. I don't think as a Doctor Strange.
as a Doctor Who.
I think as a Doctor, maybe. I
I
don't
like
know.
how you went. My brain went, "Hey, that'd be really cool that he'll be in that," and then my brain went, "That's a longer wait between series of Sherlock."
This is true. Next up is... Okay, this is the worst title of all of them. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, there was a blatant title to that film, and that was not it. It should have been called... this is going to be minor spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm afraid.
Which I've not seen yet.
But it should have been called Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix 2. Because the whole film has a cassette tape called Awesome Mix in.
Oh, okay.
And that's what the whole film is based on, this soundtrack. So it should have been called Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix 2.
Well,
But-
that's wrong. They might change it. It's 18 years away at this moment.
Only 3, maybe 4 years. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's not enough time to change a font. God, they're doomed.
Yeah. Well, seeing as we're talking about it, I mean, I really liked Captain America 2.
Didn't see
So
it.
I'm looking forward to Captain America 3.
Won't see it.
Captain America 2 was great. It was basically
Yeah,
James
I
Bond.
like them, but I just never get around to seeing movies. Like, the cinema is so inconvenient these days. It's where people
Yeah.
are like, go see this in cinema. I'm like, I could, but I have like way higher definition screens at home. I now it's just I can just sit here and put on surround sound, and it's just done now. But you
I
can have
agree.
it in 3D. Yeah, you can have it in fuck off.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
IMAX is the only thing. That's the only difference. Where people go, but it's in IMAX. I'm like, I'm listening. Eyebrow wiggle.
yeah, no, I agree. I prefer to watch things on DVD. If we ever make films, I'll be far more interested in DVD sales than cinema sales. But it's whether they make the money and where things come out. But yes, Captain America 2, well worth watching. It's really unsuperpowery and very James Bondy.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
The most...
It sounds fun. I should watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. They also tied it into the events happen over the middle of a two-parter in S.H.I.E.L.D. So on the opening weekend, they split their thing. That was a very impressive setup, which you kind of there go... In some ways, I'm very impressed that you set that up. And in other ways, what about anyone who didn't watch it? Like, what you really didn't need for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was to lose more people because they were waiting to watch the film first.
Yeah.
So that was very I mean, that's the thing. But yes, I'm looking forward to Captain America 3 because Captain America 2 was really great. Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a pretty good movie. It was a movie that did a rather good job of lots of things, but not a great job at anything. Like, there's nothing that I'd say, oh, that's the greatest comedy movie. Like, it's funny, and it doesn't fail at being funny, but there's not enough comedy in it for it to be a comedy movie. And there's not quite enough action in it to be an action movie. That's not quite enough becoming a hero to be a becoming a hero story. It's the honourable mention on a lot of lists, but is not the star of any list.
Yeah.
And for me, that's kind of an annoyance because it's kind of that. There's no time when I'd want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd never be in a Guardians of the Galaxy mood. But if someone said, let's watch Guardians of the Galaxy again, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, I mean, it's not Thor 2, which, you know, shows hardcore dedication if you watch that movie. Because it is that painful. Incidentally, next up is Thor 3, Ragnarok.
Yay.
Just,
Ragnarok.
I'm not even... I'm definitely not going to watch that unless it's sort of on Blu-ray, because the only thing worth watching Thor 2 was the extra short film set in the prison with all of the Iron Man villains talking, which was hilarious.
Okay.
That was the only good thing about that.
So much.
Next up,
I want to box it. I'll buy the what are they called? The plans, the things, the seasons one. What do they call them? The movies. Phases. There we go.
the
Thank you, Brent.
phases, the Phase 1
I'll
and
just
Phase
buy
2
them
box
all
sets.
Okay. Yeah, I'll buy them in forms of DVD box sets when they eventually make it there. Just Phase 1. I'll watch through that. I think I've seen all of Phase 1 now.
You probably have.
was-
Phase 1 ended with the Avengers, I think. Yeah, the Avengers
I've
was
probably
the end
seen
of Phase
everything,
1. Maybe not the
I've
Incredible
not seen
Hulk.
any of Phase 2 then. What's in Phase 2?
Or you've watched Iron Man
That's
3,
currently going on.
and then everything
I
I've
like
just
Iron Man
talked
3,
about.
Yeah, that's good.
But Iron Man 3
Oh,
was
okay.
very good, yeah. But yeah, no Iron Man
excellent.
4. So next is Black Panther. Yeah, this is when we start really pushing even further into who the fuck is this as the theme.
I saw a brilliant headline. A brilliant headline of that was someone did like, oh, this is Marvel's first ever black superhero movie. How is it going to be received? There's me going, so you've not heard of Blade, have you? He had a few films back in the day.
Yep. No, I was there thinking that in some ways that's probably why they've chosen him. But on the other side, I'm also there going, if they were going for let's have a black person in a film, like I totally would have watched their Nick Fury with Samuel L. Jackson as a star. Like that would easily have been a movie I'd go and see. But yeah, Black Panther.
You know,
I don't know what he is. He's like, I know that he's an Avenger. I think he's from Africa, but I could be wrong. I could just be being racist. Yeah,
that's his thing.
I think being a person who no one knows enough about to not be racist about him is sort of him. Though admittedly, we're about to go through worse than that as we go down even further. Next up after that is the Avengers Infinity War, which I'm guessing is about the Infinity Gauntlet, which should tie in lots of space things like Guardians of the Galaxy into the Avengers universe. So I understand what that is, and that's a two-parter. So that's
two-part movie? Oh.
Yeah. And they have...
I can't be fucked.
Yeah, so that's Infinity War Part 1, and then they have another 2 movies before Infinity War Part 2 comes out. So the other 2 movies are Captain Marvel, who will be our first female lead in one of these Avenger movies in this universe. And all I know is she's a girl and she has space powers.
Nice.
That's it. Which is better than the Inhumans, who I have no idea who they are. None at all. Never heard of them. Not even sort of walking through. If someone said, "Do you have an Inhumans comic?" I'd say, "What is that? Some third-party indie thing?" Like that is how much I don't know about them. Like, yeah. And then we have the end of the Infinity Wars, and you know when you're there going, I don't. Are they determined to see, like, is this a test to see how much we will go on blind faith?
Possibly.
Like, because, like, particularly without Captain America, I don't think Captain America is going to be in the Infinity War areas. Iron Man probably will, because Robert Downey Jr. is...
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. And, like, I think if he wasn't in it, there's no way... I think I would give up caring at some point. I probably could still go and see Captain Marvel because I would want to support anything which might have a female lead in, particularly if it's a big action movie, because there just should be way more than there are. So that's kind of Marvel's big push. They're also doing a whole load of new TV shows as well.
What do they do after this? Like when they at some point they'll run out of characters.
They reboot it and restart it from the beginning.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
We all know what they're doing next.
Yeah, for the next 20 fucking years we know what they're doing. Or 6 or 5, technically.
But then on top of that, there's also they're doing the Agent Carter TV series, which is it's the old Captain America crew from the World War days starting up S.H.I.E.L.D. in the beginning, which looks like it could be fun. So that should be a little bit fun. And then Netflix has signed up with them to do a whole load of series. Again, we're going in, who the fuck are you, superheroes? The most well-known is Daredevil, which is the first one.
Yeah.
And then most of these I either couldn't pick out...
Man!
Oh, we're getting close. Jessica Jones.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea who she is.
She was the one from... No, that's Jessica Rabbit. Never mind.
Yep. I thought that too. There's Iron Fist.
Ooh,
No idea who that is.
Hang on a second. That's Tekken. Tekken is the king of the Iron Fist tournament.
There we go. It must be a Tekken spin-off.
It's Hayachi. Fuck it. It'll be Yoshimitsu. He's the slut of the series. He's everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Luke Cage, who sounds to me
That
more
is
like a
Tekken
wrestler.
character. That is a Tekken character.
And then-
Now you're just reading Tekken characters.
And the Defenders
that
is apparently their sort of finale to that collection, but...
The Avengers and the Defenders.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's just one of those... Yeah, just... You know when you're there going... In a few years, I will stop caring about this.
Yeah.
Fortunately, DC will be boring me as well, so...
I'm looking at the Tekken roster now. I want to find a game with
Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
I swear, that sounds like a Tekken character.
It sounds like a wrestler to me.
It sounds like...
You know more. You would know if he was a wrestler, though. So
Yeah. But I don't think he... Oh, fuck it. Let's stick him in Wiki. I'm Wikiing in the background.
okay then. I mean, it's worth
Apparently,
noting that.
I'm an idiot, so never mind.
Okay then. So yeah, I was going to say that there's DC are doing their push, and then the weird one is the other Marvel competitors, because they're trying to do Fantastic Four and Spider-Man from Sony, and then the Fox has got the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
So you are there going, probably Marvel's going to try and beat out Marvel.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad the Justice League are. I don't understand it. Why would you put Superman and Batman together in a room? Like, you've instantly lost any writing credibility at that point. Like,
Well,
even
to
if
be
you
perfectly
had
honest-
an
to be perfectly
idiot
honest- No.
as
You see,
Superman.
because
But they didn't.
if
They got Ben
you've
Affleck to
seen-
play Batman.
If you've seen Man of Steel, you know the people involved with this have no writing credibility already.
Oh, that's true. And they
Man
made a
of Steel is one of
rule.
the movies I have watched. I wish I had.
Okay. Yeah, they actually made a rule, a memo, that said they're not allowed to have jokes in the DC movie universe.
Which is why I give no fucks about it.
And you know when you're there going, there's no way you can have that universe and not make jokes. Like, you need jokes to bypass the blatant unbelievability of most of what happens in superhero movies.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
why
that's the
Marvel's
reason
very
we
light.
like...
They want to be
yeah.
the darker ones. They want to be the darker side.
Yeah, their TV shows are their TV shows aren't bad, but their movies at the moment are just dire.
Yeah.
And their characters in general. Anyway, let's move on.
Some more movie news. Interstellar, Nolan's next one, has got its advanced reviews will come out, and it's come out to a colossal. It's not been very well received at all.
I might like this one then, because I dislike all of his raved review ones.
Yeah, it seems that it's...
My favourite... Batman Begins is my favourite Nolan movie. And the only one I
mine's
will watch voluntary.
I don't like any of his... I like the second one, it was okay. No, I like Prestige. And Inception if I don't pay attention to everything. Or anything. But no, it's basically... They go, and in Interstellar, they piss off into a wormhole to explore everything. But the film doesn't stay with them to isolate them and keep them lonely, which is what it's trying to say. It keeps jumping back to the people on the planet, going, "Oh, look at this character drama," and everything suffers because of that choice.
I see.
But do you see, the thing is, as soon as I saw that, I went, "Oh, I know the ending. They're going to meet aliens, and the aliens are going to do something. They're going to fix the planet because of aliens. Done." He'll travel faster than speed of light, piss off into dust.
No, that sounds even too close to being something that would make sense. Christopher Nolan has a tendency to try and set up two endings which you don't know which one it's going to be, and then choosing both. And going, well, that blatantly isn't... No one knows how to fuck up an ending like Nolan. Wow, we're going to get even more hate on this now.
What Nolan does is he, at the start of the film, he very clearly establishes all the rules of his universe and then breaks them all one by one as it goes along.
He does,
just,
like...
Doop, 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 doop.
So, having said that, he didn't do Pacific Rim, which was really painful for that. Because it did you need 2 pilots. How many times are we going to have 1 pilot in this movie? All of the time! We're going to do it half of the time?
Yeah.
Then why did you set up that rule? I believe that's got a sequel.
Well. Godzilla got a sequel. I'm chuffed for that. I really enjoyed Godzilla.
I know you said that.
Godzilla was my movie of the year until I remembered the Lego movie came out this year and went, oh yeah, that's one of my top 3 movies of all time.
Lego movie, the Dragons, Dragons 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2 was really good as well this year. I really enjoyed that. That was...
we had Lego movie news. We had news. The people who wrote the first one are going to be writing the sequel.
Well, that's good, but I kind of don't want Lego movie to have a sequel. It kind of worked fine.
It won't make that one any worse.
This is true.
But
I also feel like...
Because my rule for Cloverfield is if they ever release a sequel to Cloverfield, the original Cloverfield loses 5 points in my head. Just half its score, because the whole point is you're not supposed to know anything. But the Lego movie was quite open and shut.
I agree.
The rumours I've heard is no Emmett. They're going to do just a different story in a different place.
Oh, that would be fun.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Then it's just another Lego story.
I'm happy with another Lego story. I want to say other things, but there's no way I'm going to talk about what might happen in that movie and what made that movie so great. Because there's no way I'm spoiling that. Because if you haven't seen the Lego movie, you should. And you will immediately understand what we were saving from you.
Yeah, it was It wasn't just a brilliant movie, it was a brilliant rip of everything wrong with every other movie.
Oh, it was. That was
It's one of those movies where the script's going, look at all these things that are happening, and then anybody who reviews movie film went, oh, they wrote a movie for me, thank you. Because that's the thing, the difference between critics and people who actually enjoy the things, the people, as it were, is the critics see way more stuff. Just way more, a billion more things. So you go, oh, you really picked on that, you nitpicked on that. Doesn't fucking matter. Because you enjoyed it. You're a person. You didn't see it. But for the critic, that destroyed it for them because they have to see 40 more movies today.
I think some of that's true, but I also think that critics are generally rubbish as well.
As a critic, I agree.
There aren't many... you only have to look at what people think of various episodes of things, and you're like, you liked that one more than that one. Everything's so subjective, and I particularly disagree with critics because they're more...
Speaking of subjective... We missed something in TV.
Doctor Who?
That's the one.
I don't think that's subjective. Who actually likes the new Doctor?
Most people.
Really?
He's incredibly popular. Yeah, he's incredibly popular. Yeah.
I hate him so much.
I think what I hate most about it is the series has actually had some really good episodes. I've caught up with a few of... I skipped them for a while. I stopped watching for a while and went, look, let's recover... Let's rethink. And then I watched that awful Forest one, which is the worst episode of Doctor Who since it's come back. And Flatline, which was really good. Flatline is one of the best episodes of Doctor Who.
I'm trying to remember. Which one was Flatline? The one where everything shrunk.
The 2D
into
one, yeah.
2D. I was disappointed with that because I wanted them to talk via graffiti. I thought they were setting up... They want to communicate. We have a person who can do 2D artwork. I was really seeing a pattern there, and then they didn't do that, and I was
that was just to trick them into powering the TARDIS, because that's how the TARDIS got powered. We're restoring dimension power juice. It was confusing.
I think probably what was best about that episode was the fact that Peter never got out of the TARDIS, and we got to have the companion do everything instead, because... Jenna Coleman is a way better actress.
I think the TARDIS shrinking and the little hands going out the TARDIS and stuff was some cute imagery. I really liked the... To be honest, my favorite thing about the episode was the directing. It was really nicely directed and stuff. I like that.
Yeah, no,
like
there were
the-
some
the-
nice
the-
visuals.
Yeah, there was a little bit of fake peril with. There's a train coming to hit the tiny TARDIS. Oh, and the shields are down. Why? Because the shields are down.
Also, it was A113, the train.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I hate it when that's not in a Pixar movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a Pixar thing. Screw you all. I saw it in another thing as well recently.
Well, it's
Alright.
technically supposed to be the group who trained there,
Yeah.
but I don't think that if this was that case. I think this was someone stealing someone else's signature.
Yeah, it happens a lot of like fucking David Cage stole it in Beyond Two Wanks, whatever that was called.
Yeah.
The room, there's a room as soon as you start, is it A113? I was like, no, you take that back. If you think this is going to be a Pixar movie, you are sorely mistaken, David Cage.
But yes,
Yeah,
so the new Doctor, just in case anyone hasn't been following you on Tumblr, do you want to start off by...
Actually, yeah, so I don't like Capaldi's Doctor. I like Capaldi, I like the scripts. Not a huge fan of Clara, never really have been, she hasn't really sold on her.
Okay.
But it's just his attitude is so off for his story. Like, it just doesn't fit. So the Doctor's timeline, I said the Doctor's life is in 4 parts. He has pre-travelling, which is everything up to when we didn't see him. We didn't see him. We had whatever the first Doctor did, 200 years or however old he was. And then we had the time travel bit. So everything from the first Doctor to the end of the 50th anniversary.
Yep.
That's all the Matt Smith stuff. Up to Matt Smith. So first Doctor up to the near the end of Matt Smith stuff. That's the second stage of the Doctor's life. That's travelling, that's running about, that's all that sort of thing. Then we have the third stage of the Doctor's life, which is 1 episode. And that's the Trenzalore episode, where he's there for 900 years. Almost half his life he spends looking after humans, taking care of humans, doing wonderful, lovely things, just, being their protector and their hero and slowly growing old with humans.
Yep.
And then now, where he hates humans.
Yeah, see,
And it doesn't fit. I mean, he's lost... He's had 900 years to get over Gallifrey blood. He's had 900 years to get over everything, and it just seems like that 900 years didn't happen. And the real problem I have is I love that episode, and I love the idea that the Doctor sat around for 900 years. And so
I love
that
that
doesn't fit with that.
episode
I'm like, that's rubbish canon. What is wrong with you? What is this?
So
it just seems off.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with you because
he explained why the Doctor was angry. He actually, in a Doctor Who magazine, very recently gave an explanation of why the 12th Doctor is so angry and doesn't like humans. And he was basically saying that maybe because he's hung around humans all the time, he watched them all die and stuff and got very angry because they all died and was sad. And this is him being sad and angry.
I don't buy it.
Which doesn't fit. My favourite idea, I was like, yeah, here's a much better idea, which they'll never do, but I really like the idea that instead of sending him regeneration energy, they just sent someone else. And he's now he's got someone else just living in his brain who's just making him say all these things.
This is my big problem, is that he doesn't feel like the Doctor to me at all. Like, for me, the Doctor should either be in control and slightly warm inside. The Dumbledore-esque glow inside the eyes, the warmth to him that the Doctor has had.
Wasn't special.
Yes,
that's one of my favourite lines.
Lines like that, and you can give that line to most of the characters, and then this new one, you're like, Peter's Doctor, he isn't nice, he isn't friendly, he isn't in control. Like, I've yet to see him save the day in any of the episodes. We're almost through the first series.
Clara.
It's like Clara saved it, Vash saved it, Robin Hood saved it, like every episode. Oh, and then there was the episode with the mummy where he just let the bad guy get away. It's like the bad guy was not the mummy. The bad guy is the person. Yet. Well, basically, there's someone has put the Doctor on the train and is forcing the person on him to be on the train, and then kills a whole load of people to keep him on the train. So he has to stay there, and then afterwards he just lets them get away. Mm-hmm. Like, you know when you're there going, if ever I wanted Matt Smith to go, oh, where do you think you were going?
Yeah.
Like, it was just that, and he goes, oh, I couldn't track them. Why? I couldn't. You know when you're there going,
yeah.
we
Sorry,
have a
screwdriver.
whole
Needs
conspiracy
batteries.
here. We have a whole conspiracy here. If there's a conspiracy, you can be a detective. Like, and that would be a good episode. So unless they're going to pick up on that in the finale, which they might,
Well,
I'm
probably-
so
I've seen-
unhappy with that. And just
Most
like
of the excuses I've seen for him has always been, but what happens if it's in the finale? Yeah, but it's not enjoyable to watch now. Like, if
This
the
is
finale
true.
explains it away and fixes him, I'll watch from that point onwards. But now it's just travelling, you know...
well,
and it's-
yeah, that wouldn't fix him. That would just fix that episode. But I also agree that, yes, there's just that. He doesn't feel right. I mean, he now is my third least favourite Doctor. Okay?
Sixth has got to be lower than him.
No.
Really?
No. Colin Baker is fourth.
Okay.
No, he is my third. I don't like William Hartnell at all. Just because he wasn't the Doctor then. And second is David Tennant 2. Not David Tennant, David Tennant 2. That's taking David Tennant from the point of...
That's a great way to divide them up.
David Tennant 2 is awful.
David Tennant is my least favourite Doctor, but David
When he-
Tennant
when
is
he-
one of my favourite Doctors.
When David Tennant regenerates into himself and he just did the specials and then turned into Matt Smith, that
And
is
that
an
end part of
awful
the
set
thing,
of
yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the specials was awful. Whereas if you took the David Tennant before that, David Tennant's much higher up the list.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed David Tennant. I just didn't like David Tennant 2.
I
And
completely
the
agree
very
with that.
fact that there is a David Tennant 2 puts him as my second least favourite Doctor. And then after that is Peter. Like, and then we go through Doctors I don't know well enough. Obviously with Matt Smith as the top because he was perfect.
Yeah, my top is Eccleston.
You
with
prefer
Matt Smith sort
Eccleston
of
to Matt
stuff.
Smith?
I've rewatched Eccleston stuff, and he's so good. He's so good. They're tied in my head. I mean, Matt Smith did some things like Eccleston was way more consistent, and was like really, and to be perfectly honest, launched a now 10-year series, or almost 10-year series.
Well, my thing with Eccleston was that Eccleston is an amazing... He had an amazing set of episodes. Like,
Yeah.
I think he, in his one season, had more good episodes than Tennant did in the next 5 years. Like, it was one of those ones where he had so many good episodes. So, although Eccleston... I didn't love him, but I also didn't hate him as a Doctor. Like, if someone said, who do you want to play the Doctor in this episode you've written? Eccleston is never at the top of my list, but I certainly wouldn't be disappointed if I got Eccleston. Whereas when you look at Matt Smith, like, when he was performing, you could always see little nods to old past Doctors, and
Yeah.
I would want him because he added so much to it, and I felt like he lived in the universe better than the others did. Also, it helped that Moffat got him a much better set and a much better...
that first TARDIS he had.
the first TARDIS was brilliant, and then also the soundtrack, his soundtrack.
I am the Doctor,
I Am the Doctor, and
which is it's just what is
and
12's
Amy's
soundtrack? What is
and
12's
Amy's theme. I think he's still using the last one, and he's still using the last Sonic Screwdriver as well.
Yeah, and the last TARDIS. It seems kind of...
I think he might have a new TARDIS.
No, he's still got Matt Smith. He's just stuck some bookcases in it.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's just the one that Matt Smith had when Matt Smith was all sad and grumpy
Sad
for
and
a few
grumpy.
episodes. And then he met Clara, and he was just sort of strange for a while.
Yeah, I liked Clara though. I really do like Clara a lot. But I
I'm
liked
not
her.
sold on her.
I liked her so much more with Matt because her and Matt just bounced off each other beautifully.
Yeah.
Whereas her and Peter, I just so often think, just get rid of him. Steal the TARDIS from the Doctor and go all by yourself and wait for him to regenerate into someone decent.
See, my ultimate companions, my favorite companion set was Tenant Martha. Tenant Martha? Ten Martha. That would make sense.
I liked Martha until she wasn't written for enough. Like, when Russell T Davies, and this is going to be rare of me praising Russell T Davies, when Russell T Davies wrote Martha, she was a great companion, and everyone else just wrote a bland character because they didn't know who she was.
Yeah, and so, she only got the one series, which was a shame.
And she only got the one series, so she didn't have enough time to grow into what I felt Martha should have been. So I really wanted to like Martha, but I felt that when she didn't have Martha episodes, she was too generic and kind of lost the being slightly smart character that she was. In reference to me disliking...
She was fantastically smart. The thing is, when Martha...
Yeah, but then she was really stupid in other episodes. Like,
yeah, I know. But when she saved the day, I'm like, yeah, she saved the day because she's really, really fucking smart, and that makes sense.
Yes.
But when Clara saves the day, it's because she's the magic space queen!
Absolutely.
I want to be the magic space queen.
I think we all do, really. I was going to say, on Russell T Davies, I felt he was awful at plots, but he could write a character beautifully. Like, I cannot criticize him. Like, if someone else wrote all of the plots, and then he just wrote all of the dialogue, it would be a beautiful thing, him being on the show. And I love him for... If you look at his dialogues and his jokes, it was spot on. His plotting, though, is just... It makes me want to cry so often. It's like, why are you doing this? It's like, I can't believe you've never had Daleks versus Cybermen. Yes, it was only supposed to exist in bad fan fiction. The Master Race. Stop writing a plot around a poor pun. If you can...
pun. He did write some good stuff, I will say. Although then again, I'm one of the only people in the entire history of the universe who enjoyed, what was it? The Love and Monsters.
Yeah.
I am the only
Like I said,
one.
he could write characters really well. So if you watch a scene, if you took scenes out of Russell T Davies and just watched them without any context, really good. But if you mapped out the plotting and you looked at it, you were like, this is bad. This is really bad.
I'm looking flickly. He wrote Utopia, The Sound of Drums, Lost of Time Lords, which I like a lot.
The one where the Doctor gets saved by a story being told.
He becomes Magic Space Jesus.
And a laser screwdriver.
And a laser screwdriver. Who would have Sonic? Yeah, but that was a great dig. Fuck it. I'm giving him that one for that dig.
No, see, for me, Russell T Davies has the plotting of a 5-year-old.
No, he has a plotting of a fan fiction writer.
Yeah. Torchwood was an attempt to be /fiction.
I was just about to say Torchwood was... Actually, I looked up who wrote Torchwood recently, and I found out that Chris Chibnall wrote a huge amount of it. Which isn't the biggest of surprises.
I don't think I watched past halfway through the first season. Cyberwoman was when I gave up.
Yeah. The series 3 and 4, those special ones I just loathed, and most of it I just loathed. I don't like Torchwood.
Yeah.
I'm so
But we're way beyond that now. We can move on.
We can't move on. I have to... It's just being... Like, in the most recent episode, I think it's the most recent episode, the foresty one, I need to go back, because I saw this scene out of context, and then went back, because I was like, wow, out of context, that's a fucking mistake. And then watched it in context and went, oh no, you were genuinely implying this. It's the bit where Clara is telling the Doctor to go away, and he's like, why don't you want me to save everyone? He's like, well, the kids won't have their parents.
Yeah,
and
no,
so
that
they
was a
deserve
bad
to
thing.
burn to a crisp. And there's me going, okay, this is a stupid point, made all the stupider by two things. One, Danny Pink is a fucking orphan and he's standing 3 feet from you.
Yeah.
That's maybe an indication. And two, if you caught up a single one of those mothers and went, oh, I've sent them to burn to a crisp with you instead of save them, they'd probably try and find you and kill you in the time they had left.
There's that too.
And then,
of course, the Doctor didn't save the day. Of course, the Doctor didn't save the day. The trees did.
Yeah, they set that up really crappily, because at the start I was like, because I even sent you a text, I was watching it, before it's gone, I was like, I bet this happens, and then it happened, I was like, I knew it. It was that was the worst because it just nothing happened and the characters made us say, "Oh, there's a tiger!" Flash a torch in his face, it wanders off. They're like, "Yeah, I'm Danny Pink, I'm cool." And this is me going, if there was a tiger in that jungle, I would not leave the trees ever. I don't care that it fucked off. I'd hide forever.
I'm fairly confident tigers can climb trees.
It doesn't fuck. I'm never going to a forest now. But no, it was one of those cases of just especially because I know London. There's me going, right, you're in Trafalgar Square 5 seconds ago, and now you're near the zoo.
Oh yeah, I had
enough
that
for them to be wolves.
Thor 2 has this problem too when they're going. He gets on the underground for a bit, and I'm there, and he's there going, "I'm just going to get on the underground to get back to," and they're supposed to be going back to Greenwich, but they're not in Greenwich. I think they're in central London around the university UCL, but they're not in Greenwich.
It was weird, yeah. I love that they there was nobody around in all the forests. They were just deserted. And people were like, well, at the start of the episode, they said, remain in your homes. Who the fuck would remain in their homes? This is a day off work. I'm out in a jungle, mate. That's I'll be living at large. It was
I agree.
But what happens, because you saw all the damage that the trees had done, all the bloody great holes in the floor they'd made. They destroyed buildings and everything where all these plants had come from. And what happened to that? It was like, that's saved. And they released extra oxygen in the air to be like an air cushion. No! That would explode and kill everyone faster!
Yeah, that was a terrible episode, but luckily, after Matt Smith died, nothing else has been canon. Because Moffat said, I get to decide what my own canon is.
Yeah, well, I really liked that there was... Because what I thought they were setting up for a really cool, let's go into the finale at 90 miles per hour. The Doctor fucks it up and the Earth is destroyed and the final shot is Earth in heaven with Missy looking at it. Which would have set up amazingness. And you would have gone, holy fuck. And instead you went, that finished.
Yeah.
The episode would have been the same if it would just been a static shot of a bench. It just would have been, with a wolf runs past at one point, and that's all you need. How can a 3-year-old girl outrun a wolf? Or however old she is?
I agree, yeah.
And there's a little girl running away from wolves. I know, but she was wearing a red jacket and running away from wolves, and there's me going, yes, no, I understand the fairy tale you're trying to imply here. Could you get on with the plot, please? I
had that moment too. I was like, okay, you're doing Red Riding Hood, now get on. Incidentally, Red Riding Hood... Do you know the original story of Red Riding Hood?
They were all eaten and killed.
Not
murdered to death. All fairy tale. If anyone go, do you know the real story of that? The real story is always, they all died.
Well, that's true, but... no, the interesting thing about Red Riding Hood is it's got mistranslated, and that's why. Originally, it was supposed to be Red Riding Hood met into an ogre... Mm-hmm. But the ogre actually fed her lots of things, but everything that was fed to her actually was parts of her grandma. And the moral of the story is don't just do what you're told. Yeah. Think about it. If this rice looks like bits of teeth, don't eat it.
This is really crunchy.
Yeah, well, things like that were all the way through it, and sort of everything was broken down. And but otherwise, if you look at Red Riding Hood, when you're there going, aren't fairy tales supposed to have some sort of moral? What's the moral of Red Riding Hood?
It's
there was no moral there at all. At least that one had a moral.
If you're a woman, or a group of women, you have to rely on the men to get the work done. The same moral that all Disney movies have ever had. Well, I'm
not sure I entirely agree with that, but yeah. I think
the Axemithy dude comes along and don't eat porridge. Wait, that's bears. Hang on.
Yeah, you're getting confused.
I've confused myself. Did you watch The Apprentice? Going back to now we're on TV.
I didn't. No.
The new series The Apprentice started. I didn't watch it, but somebody pointed out that their challenge was to make a YouTube video and get how many views they could get, and neither team managed to get above 3,500 views in a week. As we're going, I would actually be a god of The Apprentice. I'm not The Apprentice. I'm actually Alan Sugar now.
Yeah, but the thing is they got 3,000 views. But if they didn't start off with a YouTube personality. It's like, you can do that easily now, but if we took you from scratch, it took us, 2 years to get up to being able to get 1,000 views?
My first video got 2,000 views in its first day.
Are we talking about ones that we did for Machinima?
No, not the Machinima ones. My first one on my channel by myself got 2,000 views in its first day. Actually, sorry, no, we got 2,000 subscribers in the first day.
Oh, yeah. But that was because we did... But if you include sort of the stuff that we'd tried beforehand, we tried to do...
Machinima.
Yeah, we did some stuff that was less successful. I think my point is, I totally respect the fact that lots of people are making videos and don't get 3,000 views when they first do it. I think it takes time to do things.
Is I would have fucked that challenge up.
You would
I would be all the... In fact, they did so badly, he fired all 3 people that went back to the boardroom. Just fired. He does that now. That's the big twit. I can't be fucked to watch anymore. But yeah. So
why not?
11th series now. 11th. That almost sounds like I made that number up, but it's true.
It does. Is that true. Not Leet or something? I don't know.
That's no. Don't try and spell things with your dyslexic, dear God. Right.
Okay.
We've done that bit now.
Okay,
that's media,
we've done
as
that
I've now
bit.
called it. That we'll call that culture.
Okay. I want to do a small bit about some Kickstarters.
Okay,
before we move on. Okay.
What about the book section? Hang on. Carry on. That was the book section.
I don't think I'm allowed to read.
Oh.
So I normally look at a lot of Kickstarters, and I haven't actually backed any projects in quite a while until this week, where I've actually backed 3 projects. So, yeah.
I backed one as well.
Did you?
Oh,
yeah, go for it.
Kevin Macleod or Macleod or however you pronounce his name, the guy that gives out all the free music that all the YouTubers use. There's a documentary about him and him giving away free stuff. And he's got a thingy about it, a documentary Kickstarter. And he wants some money to make a documentary about him. Or the people who are making the documentary need more money to make it finalized or something.
I think so, yeah.
Give money, I really recommend that because he does what I do, which is give stuff away for free and then makes money off of that. And I find that really interesting, and I like to see how other people do it. So, fund that, because I care.
I agree. I think that would be very interesting. He is basically the sound of YouTube.
Yeah. He's been in, 1,000 and something movies as well. Was it... I can't remember, one of the movies, a big Oscar-winning one that came out recently, had his music in it or something.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
But anyway, so that sounds good.
Back to that.
Cool. So, I have a game that... I backed called Concrete Jungle. It's a it's kind of a grid-based. You build up your city, so it's a city builder, but a puzzle city building game. But they're trying to put in deck building in as well.
Oh,
so
I
you
saw that. Yeah, I remember that now. It's the really cutesy looking one.
It's isometric. It's very cute.
Isometric, yeah, and it looks cute. Yeah, I did see that.
I saw that. It looked a bit fun. I'll admit I haven't backed it beyond sort of the lowest tier.
Yeah.
Well, not the £5 tier, but yeah, that looked interesting. So if you like tactical things, that might be something you're interested in. There's a tabletop game coming out, it's on Kickstarter. It will come out later, called Phoenix Covenant, it's basically Magic meets Final Fantasy Tactics. So you play cards and they actually have to move around on the space, and depending on which way they're facing makes a difference, because they have armoured sides and unarmoured sides and weak spots. Yep. So they have lots of stuff like that and lots of cool special abilities, very Magic-like. You don't have to worry about land, though, which is the bad bit of Magic. Because I swear, in Magic, if you play Magic the Gathering, 1 in 4 matches, the winner will be decided because someone either had too much or not enough land.
You think... Right, if you think that's bad, have you ever played the Pokemon trading card game?
I
have played it properly now. Did you ever play it properly?
I played it properly as a kid, but I haven't played it in a long time.
Okay, so you need the energy cards. You draw 1 card per turn, and you need to equip energy cards to Pokemon to do their moves. To do a big, strong max attack on an evolved thing takes 4 energy. But sometimes that spends it all, and when they die, it loses it because you're only equipping it to one thing. So you need to have like 80% mana to even have a chance at winning. It is.
Yeah.
They have no punishment for mulligans though. That's why I do. So yeah, if you only draw the thingies, the energies, you can redraw. So I built a Mewtwo deck. It was just 4, like 6 or how many Mewtwo's you can have, and then energy, never-ending energy. It worked well.
But yeah, Phoenix Covenant has solved this problem by every turn you get 2 points, and then you have 2 tracks. You have a command track and a magic track, and you get to decide which ones go up. So you can either go 2 on command, 2 on magic, or 1 on each. So it still has the leveling up that mana gives you, or that sort of lands idea gives you. But it means that you don't have to worry about it being in your deck. You just have it as a safe, I get this much money, or this many points, and you still get the, do I want to have more magic? Do I want to have more command? And command is generally used for units, and lots of things have a little bit of both. So there are things like, do you want to max out your magic so you can get some powerful spells out, or do you want to max out your command so you can get some stronger units? So I think there's some really good stuff there. If that sounds like your type of thing, go and check that out on Kickstarter, Phoenix Covenant. And then
it might not be called that. He did read that, so it could be like Phoenix Cowards.
Oh, I've heard them talk about it in videos. It's Covenant.
Okay. Cancel it.
Yeah.
He's hearing dyslexic as well. I'm still going for Phoenix Cowards.
So
that's the worst animal to try and be a coward, though. It's like, oh no, I don't want to go in there. It's dangerous. You come back to life, you bastard. Sorry, carry on.
It's almost as bad as being a claustrophobic genie.
Yeah.
And then the
one I tweeted the other day, the voice of the voiceless. You know, you always have the person who comes up, he's the voice of the voiceless. Well, that's a paradox. Yep. You can't ever have a robot that would lead a revolution. Because voice of the voiceless is a paradox. He'd explode. We'd be able to process
There we go.
Yeah.
A good way to stop a robot revolution.
Yeah. Just have one. Just it'll stop.
So, AFK is a web series. So, it's taken what at first sounds like a very boring, overdone concept, which is what if someone wakes up and they're actually inside a computer game? We've all heard that storyline before.
Yeah, I think we've written it twice, yeah.
But in this world, so they do that, but there's no NPCs. Everyone is inside this World of Warcraft-esque game. But the not having NPCs is useful because it means you don't have any of that, we've got to do this, or oh, how weird. Like, everyone is fully aware that everyone else is a human character and they should not be there, and no one knows what they're doing. But then they also put in a lot of jokes and character play based on the fact that rather than doing what most shows do, which is you look like yourself when you're inside it, everyone looks like the avatar they play. So there's things like the girl in chainmail bikini who's actually the character of a 13-year-old boy who chose it because they liked chainmail bikini, and is actually then has to live as a 13-year-old. Now has to live as a sexy lady. And like, part of me's there going, and the jokes in it are great. Like the giant ogre who's actually an 8-year-old who starts crying when he kills someone. Like, stuff like that is brilliant, and you're there going, there's great jokes in it, there's great, it looks like, it's filmed in New Zealand, so I don't think that their CGI looks great, but, you know, they've got a lot of good-looking scenery there, so, from the country that brought you Lord of the Rings, I'm sure that's how it works, right? From
the country that brought you Lord of the Rings, and all the lamb comes AFK. That's what they should do, is their thing.
But yeah, no, it looked really fun, and it looks like there's a lot of potential for really good, high-quality acting, because I do like that, and I like the fact that there's sort of, you know, a girl going, I played a gnome because I was fed up of people coming on to me. It's like, yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. It really looks like fun. It failed the first time. So this really is if it doesn't get backed, it's not going to be made. It's only a third of the way through, but it's a third of its way to its goal. So unlike the other two, which I think might make it by, so it's if you're interested, buy it, but if not, you might be able to get hold of it anyway. This is one where I really feel if we don't go for it, it's not going to happen, and I think it will be fun.
Yep.
And that's my Kickstarter section.
That's a Kickstarter section. Kickstarter. What's next? What's the next bit? I gave up nothing.
I think we've covered most of what we wanted. I don't know where we are on time.
Way beyond. We were roughly aiming for an hour. We're probably about an hour and a half or something now.
Yeah. Do you want to call that the end, or do you want to do what's boring/interesting section?
Oh no, I was going to do the Q&A. I've got the tweet written and everything.
Oh, we've got a Q&A, have we?
We'll do a Q&A.
Do you want to just do the Q&A, and we'll do my interesting/boring section next week?
Yes, we can. We have a section called What's Boring/Interesting Bit. And it has a theme to it that goes, What's boring, what's boring, what's boring/interesting bit. I like that theme tune.
Yep.
Okay. Tweet is going out now. Go on. We didn't actually plan this very far ahead. Like, I said it with everything I do. Just fucking assume it. The only thing I'm working on at the moment, like, that actually is planned is the Systems Nominal game. Ooh. But I'm not saying... I released my teaser poster of that the other day, and I'm not saying anything else about it.
Cool.
Some people did not fucking get that teaser poster. Did not. Some people thought it was rubbish. But because they looked at the small picture and read the text and assumed it was... fuck it, never mind.
Okay.
People are idiots. Dad, why do you hate cats? Is one of the questions. Because they're not dogs. Yeah, I'm just starting the fanboy dog-cat war thing.
Absolutely. I dislike... I nothing cats. Like, my general view of pets is just one of those sort of... I don't care, like... I struggle with the general concept of how intelligent are animals, because everyone I've ever heard say, oh, you can really tell animals have emotions, also believe there is a little man who lives inside their computer. And I know computers don't currently have emotions. Like, and when they're there going, oh, he doesn't like that. And you know when you're there going, no, it's a computer. It doesn't have emotions. And like when I once said this to someone and they were there and their defense was, no, but there is a person living in my computer. You know when you're there going, so I have no, like, I've never seen someone say, oh, animals have really good personalities, but computers don't. Like, and so because of that, I kind of lower my basis in that. And I like being autistic, like my general view of people is just like the, they exist and I kind of like talking to them, but if I'm not talking to them, they're just in the way. And I can't even talk to pets. Like, they never give me clever ideas or anything, so they're always in the way. So, yeah.
And then the doctor says, which is not going to work very well.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Meow, 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 meow would definitely work better.
That was Greybeard29 who asked that. He has a completely black avatar, and the person below him has a completely white avatar. If they got together, it would be grey. Just saying. I'm going to scroll up randomly. Here we go. Next question. Oh, from Laserbird64. What are you being on Halloween? Podcast host.
I'm also being a podcast host. I have not dressed up as anything. It's bad because I kind of like Halloween just based on the fact that you're allowed to dress up. I hate everything else about it, but sweets and dressing up is fun. I just wish people didn't think it was supposed to be scary. But yeah, I've not been up to it.
No, it's not.
I need a social life.
I will point out, because we're from England, it's not really a big thing. It's like the shops pretend it's a big thing, but no one gives a toss. Like, what we the only prank I ever play when I lived at home was I would used to take the batteries out of the doorbell, because my parents would always get like a little bit of like sweeties for the kids that would come around dressed in their costumes, and if I took the battery out of the doorbell would never ring, so I get all the candy. Yeah,
I think we had that too. But only no one turned up. Like
we had,
most
like, a
years
3
we'd
or
have
4,
one trick-or-treater or at most. And yeah. I'd rather put the effort in at Comic-Con, you know, when people care that I've dressed up.
People care about the costume. I would love a non-horror Halloween. Like, we have a new one, because I like the fact that people go around and get candy and it's all a bit fun and you dress up. I like that concept, but I don't like the horror side of things.
I agree. I'm also on that. That's kind of... I would like a non-horror version. Yeah. We should make new holidays. One would be that.
That would be a great one. We'd have it exactly 6 months' time. The 31st of April. Do we do anything on that? May Day.
No.
Fuck it. Do we have the free?
Unfortunately, May Day is a good thing to say during Halloween. When a prank goes out of hand.
Right, we'll do a few more questions.
Okay.
Steel McCinnamon, don't think that's your real name, says, game you are most excited for at the moment?
Game I'm most excited for? I am playing an early alpha of a game called Chasm that was a Kickstarter I backed, and I just want more and more of that. It's a roguelike Metroidvania, and it does all of that so beautifully. So it creates a random map for you when you click New Game, but then it saves itself and then doesn't change itself. So if you die and then go over and retrace your steps, it's still the same map. So you feel like you're exploring, and it also does things like you can go through and does lots of really clever things like when you go through and there's a set path. So I know that the first upgrade I need is a slide because sliding is required as an ability and things, and it does the correct sort of you have to backtrack Metroidvania style, but also has the random thing. So it's like I have a vague idea of where I'm going because I've played the alpha a lot, but I don't know exactly which room. Like when I start off, it's like I know there are going to be in this little bit of map 3 exits, but I don't know where they are until I find them. So that's a really nice thing. I also like playing roguelikes in alphas because there's something about roguelikes when they update and you restart everything new. It's just nice. Like in other games, it's really annoying. Like in a tactical game when you're trying to do it and you're like, well, you've changed the strength of that, so that lesson I learned doesn't work anymore. Whereas in a roguelike, where you get all of the fun from new rooms, when they're actually making new rooms, it's really fun.
Prison Architect works well with the alpha state because I end up selling every time there's an update. I sell my prison and start a new one with the new rules.
That sounds good.
So you can build around the new rules, which is quite good fun. I got another question for you. This is from Infernox 1099.
You didn't say what game you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I thought, and I have none. I don't. Right now, I just don't. Like right now, I'm like.
I totally respect that.
It's like Far Cry 4, but I like Far Cry 3, and this just looks like more Far Cry 3. And whenever they do that, they go down the Assassin's Creed route, and it just gets stale and dull very quickly. So, like GTA 5 on PC, yeah, but I've got GTA 5 now, so nah.
I respect
WWE 2K15, but you know that might suck. It's not something I want to be that excited about. It's just
the thing is we get games so quickly
at the moment.
What about the game we got the demo for this week? What
one was that?
The guy who did Papers, Please. His new game.
Oh, Return of the Obra Dinn. Yeah, fuck it.
That's worth being excited.
Game because I am looking forward to that.
That's worth getting excited for.
Yeah, that was really good. Done. Tick. Well done. Next, this is from Infernox 1099. Whose photo is a Minecraft person. He says, and
your current Twitter picture, is that someone's?
This is the question. This is the question. It says Twitter profile pic explanation.
Ah, brilliant.
Someone brought my logo, my avatar from YouTube, to Hell in a Cell, the wrestling pay-per-view, and held it up. So that my Twitter picture is a photo of that.
That's fantastic.
It's of my sign being held up behind a victorious but tired Dolph Ziggler.
Fantastic.
So all through, I was like, oh my god, it's that. It was great. I made my wrestling debut. I don't know who did that. No one said they've done it yet. Or if they have, I haven't seen it. But thank you if you did that thing. You're awesome. And now, everybody, if you ever go to wrestling and you're in the front row, do that thing. It'll become a thing.
So, my Twitter profile is...
Hang on, wait, before we do this. What's boring? What's boring? What's boring? Oh, interesting bit. Ding. Carry on.
So, my piece is my symbol, which is also my signature. If you write what vertically and then move the T up and the... So the W is sitting on top of a capital T. Sorry, capital W, capital T. If you write them vertically with the W sitting on the T and then draw a circle around the triangle part of the W, you will end up with that symbol, and that's where it comes from. It's my signature.
He's clever, he is. Yeah, that was clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I use that. Yep.
Final question. And this is horror themed. Because
it is Halloween.
Probably
not when we're listening.
8 weeks' time when you actually hear this, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's moved. Oh, they all moved. Hang on, where's my thing? There it is. From Connor Patterson, whose photo is a green car.
Ooh.
He says, do you have any irrational fears?
I do not have any irrational fears.
No, because all our fears are rational.
Absolutely. Spiders is a totally rational. I was
Rational
going
fear.
to do a whole video on this and then ran out of energy because I've been doing the gym this week and I just didn't get around to it. But yeah, I will be doing a video at some point on why a fear of spiders is totally rational.
It's a completely rational thing.
It is, yeah.
Have you ever seen a spider? It's rational.
It's
and
rational.
on that note, we're done.
Goodbye!
First episode of the podcast in the back. Are you saying goodbye already? You gotta have a wrap up.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realise.
No, people have already left. This is just when we talk about it.
No, I didn't realise I needed a conclusion. Do I need to restate everything we've said? So, in conclusion to this podcast, there are games that are coming out. Marvel are doing things. Is that's what we had to do?
Keep going. The Apprentice was rubbish.
The Apprentice was rubbish. We don't like the new Doctor. There were some Kickstarter bits, and we answered questions.
Done. Goodbye.
Goodbye.